In this video, I'll show you how to deploy GitLab on a Kamatera VPS and push code to a repository with the version control software called Git. GitLab is a web-based collaborative software development tool. It differs from GitHub in that it allows you to install GitLab on a cloud server to self-manage GitLab and have full control of your Git repositories. Let's begin by creating a Kamatera Cloud VPS and installing GitLab on it by using Kamatera's marketplace app image for it. Begin first by opening up your browser and navigating to the following URL address. This URL address is my referral link to Kamatera. It will give you $100 in free Kamatera Cloud credits to try out their servers free for 30 days. I'll put my referral link in the video description below so that you can click on it for your convenience. Once you're here, you'll need to create a free Kamatera account. Enter an email address and then enter a password for your Kamatera account and click on Create Free Account. Now, I already have a Kamatera account, so I'm going to click on Login. Once you have created your Kamatera account and gone through the onboarding process, you'll be taken to your Kamatera dashboard. In here, look to the left-hand side and click on My Cloud. Then click on Servers. You should now be in your server management page. To create a server on Kamatera, click on the green button that says Create New Server. Now we will need to choose a zone or a country for our server. Kamatera offers 5 continents: Asia, Australia, North America, Europe, and the Middle East. For this video demo, I'm going to be going with Asia, and I'm going to choose Singapore. For your GitLab web server, it is best to choose a region that is closest to you and the people that are going to be using your GitLab website, as it will give you the best connection for you and the other users. You can also go with a middle ground country that's the best fit for everyone, if not everybody is based in the same location. Once you've chosen your region, scroll down until you see where it says Choose an Image. Click App Images. Scroll down and look for where it says GitLab. And there we go, GitLab is right here. Click on the GitLab app image. Once you've done that, we'll need to choose a version, so scroll up until you see Choose Version and click on the drop down arrow. At the time of recording of this video, there's only one version of GitLab, and that's GitLab latest Ubuntu Server 24.04. I'm going to click on that to select it. If there's another version, just go with the latest one. Scroll down until you see where it says Choose Server Specs. Here we'll need to choose the specifications of our VPS. The higher the specs, the more pricier your Kamatera server bill will be. So it's best to click on the toggle that says Detailed View so you can get an accurate breakdown of the pricing of your Kamatera server. Kamatera offers 4 types of servers. You've got A for availability, T for burstable, D for dedicated, and B for general. A for availability and T for burstable are the cheapest options, with B for general being a bit more expensive and D for dedicated being the most expensive. I'm going to be going with A for availability, as this is just a video demonstration and I don't need a lot of power. It's good to start off with this. You can always scale as your GitLab site attracts more users. Kamatera offers that flexibility for you. Next is CPU. I'm going to be going with the lowest amount of CPU cores to run GitLab, so I'm going to be going with 4, 8 GB of RAM, and 20 GB of SSD disk space. Once you've chosen your server specs, scroll down until you see Finalize Settings. Here we'll need to choose a password for our GitLab Kamatera VPS, and we'll need to confirm that password by validating it. So I'm just going to enter a password in now, and then I'm going to validate it by entering the same password. Once you see the 2 check marks, you can move on. We'll need to choose a name for our GitLab server, so I'm going to call it GitLab-VPS. Scroll all the way to the bottom. Now, lastly, you should see billing cycle and pricing. Kamatera offers 2 types of billing cycles. You've got hourly billing cycle, which charges you per hour, and then you've got monthly billing cycle, which gives you a set price for the whole month. Now, because this is a video tutorial, I'm going to be going with hourly billing cycle. However, if you do know you're going to be hosting the GitLab server for an entire month, then it's best to go with the monthly billing cycle. Once you've chosen your billing cycle, click on Create Server. Kamatera will then add the creation of your server as a task in queue. So if I click on Tasks in Queue at the bottom left, then you should see your server name under service, in my case GitLab-VPS, is being created and it's at a status of 70%. I'll be back with you once that reaches 100% and it says success. Okay, I'm back. GitLab has now been installed on our Kamatera VPS, and you can see that by the status of success. I'm going to click on Tasks in Queue again just to minimize everything so we can see the entire server management. Under server management, we can see a list of all the servers we have created. As you can see, I've only got one server and it's called GitLab-VPS. My server is in the Singapore region. Its IP address or IPv4 address is 103.6.169.74. It's got 4 CPU cores, type A, it's got 8 GB of RAM and 20 GB of SSD disk space. And its current status is powered on, as indicated by the state with the green play symbol here. So to access our GitLab web UI, we'll need to copy our server's IP address. To do this, simply click on your Kamatera server name. You'll now be in the overview section of your server. Look for where it says public internet IP and copy the IP address to your clipboard by clicking on the copy to clipboard icon. This IP address is unique to me and your server's IP address will be unique to you. Next, open up another tab in your browser and type the following into the URL address bar: http:// right click and click on paste to paste in the IP address of your server and then hit enter on your keyboard. Now my browser, because I'm on Google Chrome, takes me automatically to HTTPS, and then I'm greeted with the following warning message which says your connection is not private, and that is because I don't have an SSL certificate yet for the IP address of my server. I'd first need to get a domain name, point that domain name to my server's IP address, and then get an SSL certificate for it for HTTPS encryption. However, the purpose of this video is just to show you how to get up and running with your GitLab website. I'm going to click on Advanced, and then I'm going to click on Proceed to and the following link. In my case, it's 103-6-169-74. These are dashes instead of dots. It's what my server's IP address automatically took me to, .as-sg-cloud-xip.com. I'm going to click on it, and then my browser will take me to the sign-in page for my GitLab Community Edition site. Your username is going to be root, or if you're logging in by email, your email address is going to be the same email address you signed up to Kamatera with. So I'm going to log in using the username root, and then for the password, that's going to be the root password that you set for your Kamatera GitLab VPS. So I'm just going to paste that in. I'm going to click on Remember Me, and I'm going to sign in. You'll now be signed in into your GitLab site as admin, which you can see at the top right hand corner here next to your profile icon. As admin, you can configure and customize your GitLab settings, and you should do that when you freshly deployed GitLab. However, if you want to be a user of your own GitLab site, it is probably a good idea to create a new user for you to use your own GitLab and simply just use the admin account for purely configuration. Now, when you first log in to your GitLab instance, you'll receive two notifications. It says check the restrictions for new users. So you can deactivate new signups if you don't want public users. Now, I'm not going to do that, as I would like everybody to use my GitLab site for version control. So I'm just going to click on Acknowledge here. Web IDE single origin fallback is enabled. You can review those settings in your own time, but for the time being, I'm just going to click on Acknowledge. Great, so that concludes this part of the video about deploying your own GitLab server on Kamatera. Continue watching if you want to learn how to create your first project on your own GitLab instance and push code to that GitLab project for version control. So I'm going to start off by creating a project by clicking on Create a Project, and I'm going to create a blank project. You also have the option to import a project or create from template. I'm going to be going with create blank project. Give your blank project a name, so I'm going to call it test-site. You can edit the project slug if you want, but I'm going to leave it the same as my project name. It's already entered in by default. Pick a group or a namespace. I'm going to click on the drop down arrow and I'm going to pick the user root. Now, if you've created another user for yourself without admin privileges, you can select that, but for this video demo, I'm just going to be going with root user. Next is your repository's visibility. By default, it will be on private, which means nobody can see it publicly unless you give specific users access to your project. You've also got internal and public. I'm going to be going with public as I want everybody to be able to access my project without any authentication. Scroll down to the bottom until you see project configuration. I'm going to keep initialize repository with a README checkmarked. I'm not going to touch the other two, and then I'm going to click on create project. Great, so we've created a project called test-site, and this is the repository right here. Now what I'm going to do is push code to this repository. Right now, all it has is the README, which is a default README with instructions for pushing code to it. So I don't have a website made yet, but I'm going to use OpenCode, which I have deployed on another server, to create a website very quickly for me. So I'm just going to open up my CLI window here, which has my OpenCode. If you would like to know how to install OpenCode on a Kamatera VPS, I'll put a link to my YouTube video, which shows you how to do this. So I'm going to tell my OpenCode, make a quick, responsive website about our black swan. So my prompt is a single sentence, and it's about prompting OpenCode to create a website about the black swan bird. I'm happy with my prompt, so I'm going to hit enter on my keyboard. OpenCode will then build my website. Once the website is built, I'm going to push it to the repository of my GitLab's instance using Git. Okay, the website has been deployed already. I want to view it live on my VPS's IP address, so I'm just going to prompt OpenCode to deploy it on a web server. Deploy the live site on an NGINX web server. and then I'm going to hit enter on my keyboard, and it should do that. It might ask for some permissions though. There we go, it's already asked. I'm going to use my arrow keys, and I'm going to hit enter on my keyboard to select allow always. Then I'm going to press enter again for confirm. It asks for permissions again, so I'm just going to do the same thing again. Okay, our website is live at the following IP address. Again, this is another server that I've created before I started this video, strictly for OpenCode. So I'm just going to copy this HTTP link with my other server's IP address. Once I've got it, I'm going to open back up my browser, open up a new tab, and then in the address bar, I'm going to right click, click on paste, and hit enter. And there we go. Here's my website about the black swan. It's pretty amazing how AI can build your website really quickly for testing purposes. So now that we've got our website, let's push the code to our GitLab instance so that we can collab with other people. So I'm going to go back to my GitLab instance and my test-site repository. And now what we need to do is add an SSH key to our GitLab instance. To do this, I'm going to click on the drop-down arrow next to code for our repository. And then you should see your account does not have an SSH key. Click add SSH key and then click add new key. Now what you'll need to do is generate an SSH key. There are many programs that allow you to do this, but I'm just going to use OpenCode. So I'm going to open back up my OpenCode CLI window, and I'm going to tell it to generate me an SSH key to push files to my GitLab instance. So I'm going to type the following: generate me an SSH key to push the site you just made to my GitLab repository instance at, and then what I'm going to need to do is copy the repository URL address. So I'm going to open back up my browser, and I'm going to click back on my web browser, and here we go. I'm on my repository called test-site. I'm going to copy this URL address, and I'm just going to go forwards in my browser to go back to adding the SSH key, and I'm going to click on add new key. Now we're back to where we just were. I'm going to open back up the OpenCode CLI. I'm going to press shift and right click to paste in the URL address, and then I'm going to hit enter on my keyboard. OpenCode will then generate the SSH key. It hallucinated a bit, but it generated our SSH key. So I'm just going to copy the SSH key here. It begins with SSH-ED25519. And this is the key right here. Once I've copied it, I'm going to open back up my browser, right click in this box that says key and paste it in. And then for the title, I'm going to call it OpenCode-key. And then I'm going to scroll down to the bottom. And then before I click on add key, you can change the usage type or the expiration date. For the expiration date, I'm just going to change that to 1 week from here. Today's the 5th, so the 12th of June. And then I'm going to click on add key. And then I'm going to click on yes, add it. Okay, I'm going to go back to OpenCode, and I'm going to say push it to the repository. Then I'm going to hit enter on my keyboard. Okay, it says push successfully. Let's check our repository now. So I'm just going to click on the backspace button here. And again, it seems like it pushed it to another branch. I want it to push it to the main branch. So I need to open back up my CLI and type push the code to the main branch and edit the repository's README with a screenshot of the site. Okay, it says it pushed to the main branch, the index.html, a screenshot.png, and it updated the README's description and embedded the screenshot. So I'm going to open back up my browser, I'm going to hit the refresh button, and yep, it has pushed everything to my own GitLab instance to the repository called test-site. Got the README, I've got the index, got the screenshot. And if I scroll down for the README, in the README, I can see the site is called Black Swan, a small description, a screenshot of the site, a section description, and a tech description. Amazing. So it made a little hiccup by creating a second branch. What's that branch called? So it created another branch called master, but we're back on the main branch now, which explained why we didn't have files on our main branch, but that's okay. The AI will only improve as the years go by. It's already amazing what OpenCode can do and other CLI coding agents. So on that note, that pretty much concludes this video on how to deploy GitLab on a Kamatera VPS and push code to a repository with Git version control. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like, comment down below, and most importantly of all, subscribe to support the channel. I'll see you on the next video.
Why is it so hard to let you go?